Good evening. This evening I read from this wonderful book, a representative anthology of Bengali and Hindi short stories, Timeless Tales in Translation by my dear friend Chaitali Sengupta. I choose to read an excerpt from one of my favorites from this book, Bolai by Rabindranath Tagore. In the character of my nephew Bolai, I believe the affinity for the flora and fauna perhaps reigned supreme. He was an observant child rather than an active one. Even at an early age, he'd quietly observe nature around him. The dark, billowing clouds in layers on the eastern sky would collect and pour. It would moisten his heart and bring forth the untamed breeze of the forests. It was as if his entire being could hear the pitter-patter of the rains. In the departing light of the sun in the evening, he wanted to absorb it within, as if trying to accumulate something precious out of it. At the end of Magh, when the trees brimmed over with abundant tiny fruits, it awakened an intrinsic deep happiness within him, a joy defying description. His inner nature would blossom forth, expand, and take on a deeper shade of color, much like those flowering shal trees with the arrival of Phalgun, the month of February. In those moments, he had a deep urge to sit in solitude, engaged in a conversation with himself, piecing together the various tales he'd heard, like the story of that ancient pair of birds who made their nest in the deep crevice of the ancient banyan tree. He never talked much, this wide-eyed, staring boy. In the silence of his beings, his thoughts ran deep. Once I took him along on a trip to the mountains. His joy was immense when he saw the lush carpet of green grass sprawling down to the valley from our house at the top. In his mind, the grass carpet on the slope was not an inanimate, lifeless thing. He felt it to be living one that rolled down in playful manner. Often he would roll down the slope, becoming a part of the grass, enjoying it tickling his back, and giggled out loud. After a rain-washed night, when the first gentle rays of the sun broke free and its golden light kissed the tops of the clustering deodar trees, he would tiptoe out of the home alone, walk to those tall trees and stand in awe, watching the motionless, mighty trunks. In them, he'd envision a living spirit, a human presence, the spirits who wouldn't talk but would know all our secrets, like our ancestral grandfathers from time immemorial. Such beautiful lucidity. I read from the foreword of this book, foreword written by Dr. Sengupta Dasgupta. She says, "But literary translation is not about semantic jugglery. Literary translation is not about translating words. It is about translating the unknown in definable terms. It is about creating an intimacy between the home and the world. It liberates one from the myopia of national boundaries and creates international cultural understanding, though the context may be rooted in Bengal, Boston, or Brazil." And the translator herself, Chaitali Sengupta, says, "In a country that has several regional languages, translation is the only way to prevent the regional languages from becoming obscure." Well, Chaitali has chosen some stellar authors and absolutely stellar work. It's a bouquet of the beauty of Bengal and also India presented to the world. She has chosen Swarna Kumari Devi, who is the elder sister of Rabindranath Tagore himself, of course, Sharat Chandra Chatterjee, Munshi Premchandji, Rajshekhar Bosu, Jaishankar Prasad, Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay, and Sadat Hasan Manto. And this is a bit of India, a wonderful period of Indian literature, and do buy this book, Timeless Tales in Translation, for all those who love India or who have their origin in India.